Welcome to Tiny Tours. My name is Shirley Coleman, a docent at the Meadows Museum, and today we'll be taking a look at Students from the Pestalozzian Academy by Francisco José de Goya y Lucientes. The painting is oil on canvas and dates from between 1806 and 1807. Goya was a Spanish Romantic painter and printmaker, regarded as the last of the old masters and the first modern painter. This painting was commissioned by Manuel Godoy, the Prime Minister of Spain, to commemorate the opening of the Royal Pestalozzian Academy, named for Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi, a Swiss educator who supported public education for all. Godoy's full-length figure is missing from the right side of the painting. During the early 1800s, the Enlightenment movement stressed the belief that science and logic gave people more knowledge and understanding than tradition and religion. Education was considered a privilege for the upper classes. Offering public education to rich and poor alike, the Royal Pestalozzian Academy opened in 1805. It was short-lived as the church saw it as a threat to their authority over education, and it closed in 1808. Manuel Godoy was a Spanish royal favorite whose foreign policy contributed to a series of defeats, resulting in the abdication of Charles IV and the occupation of Spain by Napoleon Bonaparte. Supporters of the king's son Ferdinand spread the story that Godoy had sold Spain to Napoleon. On March 18, 1808, a popular uprising known as the Mutiny of Aranjuez took place, inciting an angry mob that stormed Godoy's residence and stopped his attempt to leave the country to establish a court in exile. The painting was possibly destroyed at that time. In this fragment, we see a group of boys behind a low, flat stone structure. There are 4 boys in a diagonal line from left to right. The first boy is seated in the shadows and appears to be focused on writing, using the stone slab as a desk. Wearing the humble clothing of the working class, the boy is painted in muted earth tones, and his brown face and arms are blurred. The next boy's skin is pale, and his short brown hair is fashioned in the style of the day. Wearing a beautiful blue jacket trimmed with red, his white silk vest is worn over his shirt and set off with a jabot, a type of tie. He is holding a triangular ruler. The boy next to him is dressed in the same fashion. He is slightly behind his friend and seems to be talking to him. The 4th student is less defined. He is holding his friend's upper arm and looking over his shoulder in the direction of a missing speaker. There is another richly dressed student in the lower right corner of the painting, holding a triangular ruler in his right hand. We see the heads of 4 more students among the boys in the foreground. There are 2 boys, faintly outlined, playing in a tree. The background suggests a park-like setting with trees and shrubs in a misty green-gray. Goya used loose, sketchy brushstrokes and warm pastel colors to portray the fine fabrics worn by some of the students. It's a sharp contrast between the other students, who are wearing simple clothing in muted earth tones made of coarse fabric. The painting reflects the school's goal of education for all, rich or poor. Why do you think Godoy commissioned this painting? Who and what influences education today? Thank you for listening. Plan to join us for more of the Meadows Museum's Tiny Tours.